costume was on, and then it was like a switch, bang, oh, there you are, okay, let's go and play. And as soon as the makeup and costume is off, he's gone. Okay, and you had your hand up.
You basically just answered it, but I was just wondering if the director by Parker gave you any specific direction with the character?
I'll do this one quickly, very quickly, and then take one last one. He gave me one note early on. He got very excited as soon as he saw it. Now his idea is walking and talking, very excited. And the first couple of takes, he was saying that this is great, this is fantastic, this is wonderful, just do less. Okay. Did another take, oh my God, this is great, this is wonderful, this is fantastic, just do less. Okay. Take it down a bit further, and same thing. And I was getting to the point where, and it's uncomfortable for an actor, where you feel you're just standing still, dead face, speaking. It's not an easy place to be as an actor, but what Clive was saying was, that's where I want you to be, because if you're doing that with this makeup on, it is so powerful. And the deader you are, and the less you're trying to emote in the makeup, the more powerful it is. That was really the only note that I ever got from him.
It worked.
Apparently. You are the last.
So, I've heard you say before that you're pretty close to Danny from Critical Film. I know you've worked with them on a couple albums. Do you have any interest or plans to do anything beyond just spoken word portions for their Critical Film albums, or have you thought of working with them on something more?
With Cradle, no plans at all. I haven't heard from Danny or spoken to him since I recorded Godspeed on the Devil's Thunder. I've already covered Cradle Phil, so there's time for one more. Yes?
Have you ever had a dream as Pinhead?
No. We've got time for one more. Yes?
How do you feel about not breed Cabal Cup?
How do I feel about
Not breed?
the Cabal Cup?
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic that, this is a long answer, oh shit. It's fantastic that the movie has finally got the treatment it deserves, because, you know, I've been saying for a long time, the movie we shot at Pinewood, if anybody's familiar with the novel Cabal, the movie we shot at Pinewood was an absolutely faithful, like page for page, faithful adaptation. And that clearly is not the movie as released. Nightbreed is an extraordinary vision, and it's not even really a horror film. It's a fantasy film. It's a romance about a love affair between a girl and a dead guy. But Clive was hot from Hellraiser, and Fox wanted a horror movie come hell or high water. They marketed the damn thing as a slasher film in the end. They couldn't get the idea that the humans were the monsters and the monsters were good guys, and the breed really want nothing more than to be left alone, to live their lives under the cemetery, apart from the troublemakers like Pelican and Kinski. But generally, that's what they want. Fox made the breed more aggressive because that fit their agenda. And Clive stayed to try and firefight the whole thing, and it damn near killed him. And that's really the reason why you didn't hear from him again until Lord of Illusions. He basically, after Nightbreed, I think said, if this is movie making, then fuck movie making. I'll go back to writing and painting, because then there's nothing between my imagination and the end of my fingers. There isn't anybody leaning over my shoulder saying, the demographic in Omaha won't support that, right? We can't afford that, right? We want you to shoot this scene differently to the way you want to shoot it. He had no middleman between his imagination and the end product. And if Fox had left him alone and let Nightbreed be released as it was, then he may not have turned his back on movie making as quickly as he did. I think I'm putting words into his mouth, which I maybe shouldn't do. But that was my impression. So Because when he came back to London from LA after the whole Nightbreed experience, he looked terrible. It was a miserable experience for him. So it's great that finally you've got something like the original intention. Nightbreed. And I got my voice back, which is good. That was never me in the original movie. I got a phone call from someone in LA. I was in London saying, we need to redo your lines, and we're going to hire a voiceover artist. And it wasn't is that okay? It was just, this is what's happening. I think what they were saying to me was, you haven't got that many lines. It's probably an hour, 2 hours in the studio. We're not about to fly you from London to Los Angeles and put you up in a hotel with all the costs that implies, when we can hire Joe up the road to come in and do 2 hours in the studio for a couple of $100. And why he developed a German accent, only the voiceover artist and whoever was in the studio that day could tell you. He didn't when I did it at Pinewood, he doesn't in the Cabal Car. It never crossed my mind, or as far as I'm aware, anyone else's mind. So I think an executive fell out of bed, banged his head, and thought, Lylesburg, he's German. Anyway, that's Nightbreed. We're done.